shout out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Big shout out to all my people in the Shark Tank. Another big shout out to all my people out there on the back street. What up? Big shout out to all my people out there on the back street. Before I get started, everybody make sure y'all hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. To all my people on the back street, y'all know what time it is. You know what I mean? Get that drink together, roll them up, sit back, and get ready to enjoy the show. Before I get started, shout out my names tonight. Mo won't be with us tonight. You know, Mo is in the hospital right now, and we're going to see what happens. Had somewhat of a bad day, and they end up admitting him. So we're going to see the results of that. I will keep everybody filled in, so send out your prayers and give you, you know, what you do, you know. Dogman the Dogman wanting, you know, I'm still keeping him, you know, motivated because I had to pretty much make him get to the hospital. And then once he gets there, he end up having to stay, and I know that bothered the hell out of him. But as usual, that's what he got me for. I pick up the slack. We go from there. Today's conversation, it kind of brought me, you know, I guess going through what Mo going through kind of brings me back to, you know, I get around to everybody's channel and, you know, I support this game as much as I possibly can. I always told y'all the only reason I really got into this is because of Mo, pretty much. You know, and when I think about at what point in time I be wondering sometimes, you know, he gonna be a dog man, I believe, to the day he die. And I really believe that. And that, you know, that kind of like made me think about being we just got done talk about McNasty and Mr. T. You know, other people that we've known over the years that have, you know, went passed on. You know, you think about your times, you know, them special times you had with these people. And then I sit back and I look at the dog game the way it is. For me, being around the dogs as long as I have, you know, meeting people like Kimsey Woods, James Edwards, Atlas Brewer, Jamie, McNasty, Mr. T, Nate Abraham. You know, that's just to name a few. Johnny Hatt. Those are people that I had, you know, spent time around. And then when I look back on them, even after we moved around, how these people pretty much died with bulldogs. Even my man Harry Hargrove, can't leave him out because he was down there in the bunch and he had a whole lot to do with my man Tony Wade. And I sit and I look at, you know, me and my brother, we getting up in age. And it don't really dawn on you, fellas. You know, age is something that don't dawn on you until, you know, life steps in and reminds you of how close you are to having that foot in the grave. And dealing with these bulldogs, you know, some of y'all done heard like my man Tony Rogers. Bulldog man to the end. My man Johnny Hatt, Bulldog man to the end. The Kenny Allen, Bulldog man to the end. These are people that I knew personally. Well, I only met Kenny one time. But to know how he passed, like Tony, like Johnny Hatt, these guys were in the dogs almost up to the day they passed away. Sometimes I be feeling like that about my brother. I mean, see, I have one dog, you know, one pit bull, but we really have pit bulls. My son has never got out of pit bulls, and I'd be wondering, did I do that to him? His daughter has bulldogs. I mean, most of all our kids have bulldogs. And I'm wondering, they never got to the level we got. They just have a love for the dogs. But today I'm going to be speaking to the dog men, the game dog men, the men who have made a living out of just loving the American game pit bull terrier. See, the American Pit Bull Terrier and the game American Pit Bull Terrier, I'm gonna classify them for tonight's conversation simply because the game American Pit Bull Terrier, I'm going to take them people back in our time. It was just not just the love of the game, it was the love of the dog and the love of the participation of combat. That part of the game. Even the breeders who like Floyd, getting up there in age, the mark that he actually put on the game. There's so many of them. Mr. Wintley, somebody else, probably died with bulldogs. You have to, for my young guys out there, speaking from my point of view, I don't think we crazy. And to all my bulldoggers out there, I don't think you're crazy. I think what people have to understand is we love these dogs just like other people love their dogs. Regardless of what you do and how you doing with your dog, that's not the point. The point is the love of what you're doing with your dogs. How much love do you really have when it comes down to these American Pit Bull Terriers? So I know my brother's love goes way beyond what I be thinking, which is, for me, which is natural. I just seen my brother drive 2 days ago. He drove 6 hours one way and 6 hours back. So that's a 12-hour day. I couldn't ride with him because my wife had she had to be at the hospital for her treatments. But the purpose of him doing this is he went to get my dog's littermate's sister. Yeah. He drove 12 hours to go get the littermate's sister to my dog. And her name is Hot Spice. Spice was given to his daughter, and she wound up having her job moved her to Ohio, and she left her with someone. This someone had a bully, and those two dogs just didn't get along. Spice was always jumping on the bully. The young lady didn't know what to do. And before she let that dog go to the pound, she called my brother's daughter. My daughter called her dad, and her dad went and got the dog. I take it, my son gave us these dogs because he wanted us to have some of his stock. He knew that regardless of whatever happened, that we would have these dogs. But the fact that he went 12 hours to do this kind of show you how much love he has for the dogs. My thing is, when I see people going back and forth about the dogs, and then I see, all type of pedigrees, everybody's, they doing their thing. Y'all know these platforms on Facebook, TikTok, pretty much, American Pit Bull Terriers are not hard to find. They come in all shapes and sizes. My thing is, I've lived pretty much 30 plus years, almost 40 years dealing with damn bulldogs, y'all. 40 years of dealing with these dogs. I can give 20 plus years, but I can say a little more than, I would say, close to 30 years in the fast lane dealing with dogs. And I'm not talking about one or two dogs. I'm talking about a lot of dogs. If you look at my man Tony Rogers is one of the most recognized people in the Sport and Dog Journal because he was always doing dogs. My man Jamie Long, may he rest in peace. Another guy. He believed in our dogs. Out of all the dogs in the country, he believed in those dogs. Jamie died with those dogs on his yard. Now, I don't know how many people wound up getting the dogs after that, but Jamie made good on his promise as far as maintaining and moving that bloodline forward. That's why you'll see a lot of great dogs that we still have out there. Some of those breedings actually came from breedings that Jamie had did. My thing is, at what point do we separate the game dog man from just a dog man? See, I think those are two different type of people. Because the American Pit Bull Terrier game dog man, he has a whole different mindset of how they deal with these dogs. I mean personally, I understand that mindset. I've been around them. I'm around a crazy person who's just, he wanted to know in every aspect. Him, my kennel partner, and all the guys that we were around. All the kennels you hear his name. Those were a particular type of dog men for us simply because we all had that one thing in common. We dealt with game American Pit Bull Terriers. And I say that because it was a whole lot different dealing with them compared to dealing with my kennel partner, who was responsible for the dogs that we primarily used our whole entire career. Our whole entire career. But he was a breeder. He loved to breed the dogs. He loved have that analytic mindset of if we do this and we do that and you do this, it's going to work. Trust me. And we trusted him. But he had to trust us to get out and do right by those dogs. And who was us? I tell you who we were. We're on the side of the American Pit Bull Terrier game dog man. He's the one just taking what the breeder does, and it's either going to make it or it ain't going to make it. But for us back at that time period, the only way we was ever going to find out if the shit actually was going to be worthy of even talking about was to get out there and put them to work. That's what the American Pit Bull Terrier game dog man did, and it's a whole lot of them. But look what it takes to be like that 20, 30, 40 years. How many of y'all know dog men who have been around these dogs their whole entire life? Now some, they they run across them times where they got in trouble and they couldn't own dogs anymore. They were forced into having to sit back and try to move forward in life without something that they spent the majority of their life doing. Schoolboy, prime example. He ended up having to hand his success over to his protege and had to watch from the outside looking in. But he fell into our category. He still deals with these American Pit Bull Terriers and talks about them, and his love and passion has never changed over the years. And he tells you. The Ed Crenshaws, the David Tants of the world, and so many others that I have known over the years of how serious they took this game. And I wonder, for us, when we sit back and we do, we talk, and I'm watching all the platforms and the people in the platforms and how people breeding dogs, and I wonder if they really be knowing, just because a dog is bred a certain way, it doesn't guarantee the dog is ever going to be about anything. But how many people on all these platforms, how many of them really understand and know what that's like? And sometimes I just don't think they really understand what that part's like. Because without understanding what that part's like, it is very hard for a person like me to try to understand people arguing about certain things when it comes to these dogs. Before I get started here, let me get this out the way. Big shout out to my man, Mr. Dickie Foster in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man, Self-Made Kennels in the house. What up, fam? My man, Double M Desbo, bite down and shake that like button in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man, Mr. William Torres in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to Tonka the City Kennels representing the Shark Tank tonight. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man, Mr. Derek Regan in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man, Mr. Bulldog Jones in the house. What up, fam? The Insane Honey Badgers in the house. Yo, what up, fam? Big shout out to my man, Mr. John Dembry. I see you, fam. Let's see if there's anything I'm missing in here. Big shout out to the Mad Doctor in the house. What up, fam? Shreveport in the building. Big shout out to Shreveport. Mike in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to Game Ready Kennels. I see you, fam. Bloodthirst #1, a.k.a. Havoc 360 in the house. I see you, fam. Big shout out to my man, Bob Johnson's in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man, K-Walk. I see you, fam. Big shout out to 517 SEK. What up, fam? Big shout out to my main man, Mr. Ron King in the house. What up, fam? My man, your rock, Sir Rock, Black Paws, the Regulator in the house. What up, fam? Another shout out to my man, Mr. Eduardo Venezuela in the house. What up, fam? Just a dog man at USA Canine. I see you, fam. I'm living proof. What up, fam? Big shout out to Cosmin, KLTV. What up, fam? Big shout out again to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Y'all know y'all always showing the love just to show up and show out. But y'all kind of know where I'm coming from. I mean, how serious, and I mean, I know we got a lot of followers, a lot of subscribers, and there's a lot, I know a lot of the people that's in the Shark Tank, some of them I know a little better than others. But my thing to you guys, at what point do you look at this game and understand that this game has never changed, actually has really never changed from the first time they took them off the boat? The game part. Remember, that's like, to me, that's the sport. That's the game. To be a participant in this game, you had to have some type of role. Some type of, what part you gonna play in the game? Are you gonna be one of the fans that sit in the audience like going to a football game? Or are you gonna be a person that creates the fighter or creates the dog itself? Or are you gonna be the one who becomes that part of the game to where you're looking to build a team of dogs, a team of Spartans? See, in order to be able to play any role in this game, you had to be serious, to be productive. I've never seen Mr. T.L. Williams ever do anything with a dog. But I remember on a couple occasions, and remember we used to travel. But to this day, I can still remember that man that sat in the back, always had the overalls on with the Carhartt, work jacket, and just came to know him, didn't really know him personally, but was always popping up just to know that that was Mr. T.L. Williams. And for those who don't know, Mr. T.L. Williams he's a really historian when it comes down to these dogs, because I see why there's much that he had never seen, because he was always there at some of the biggest shit. I put him in as one of those, not the ones that sit in the bleachers, but the one that was part of the game and didn't really understand what role he actually played. But he was there. And to know who he is now, I mean, hell. That's like another stripe on my shoulders, because, hell, he was at some of our shit. So, and for him, after all these years, to even just kind of remember, like you said, he kind of knew what we had on most of the time, because we did. We always represented. But times were changed, times different, but again, the dog man mentality is always going to come down to the game dog man and just a regular dog man. See, I was never a fan of just, seeing people do, and I've seen it happen so many times. You have, guys in the neighborhood, and they trying to get in, and they out here spending money on doing their own breedings and just can't get beyond the backyard. Or them ones that 6, 7 losses, but yet they still keep trying to kick that door in. They still trying to find a way, but never willing to just listen. See, those kind, I've seen them. I bet you we got more of them nowadays than we could have possibly had back in our day, because back in our day, in order to even find out what you had, we rolled dogs. Saturday and Sunday, Everybody checking. Everybody setting anything up for Saturdays and Sundays. You want to see what you got? Hey, Saturday or Sunday. Checking your yard, checking your prospects. Them was the days back then. Years of that shit, y'all. I mean, we had years of that shit. Seeing dogs as puppies that went on to be great dogs. Just having that. I guess when I say having that, you know, when you watch somebody start out and they go through their struggles and then they finally hit that mark, they got them right dogs. I mean, if y'all was familiar with the Victor Akart story, you know, how he started out with them pass dog and, you know, just totally just got away from him because he wasn't winning. But then he got that break. Well, I know a couple people who got those breaks, and they went from regular just dogmen to game dogmen. Because once they got it, the fever took over. Well, hell, if I did it once, I can do it again. And then do it again. And again. And then keep on doing it. So there's a lot of them out there. See, this game is so big and it has so many different pockets. There's so many names where people know certain people in certain areas. People know certain dogs in certain areas. But have y'all noticed that in time, that regardless of where you at, if you're a part of this community and whatever, regardless of whatever pocket you're in, that if you're worthy of talking about, somebody somewhere gonna know who you are. Somebody somewhere gonna know who you are. And see, we never really took the knowing who you were part serious until it got down to where we were actually showing up in certain places with a dog, and people would have this crazy reaction like somebody set them up. Y'all didn't tell us it was them. And I would always wonder, why would it matter? Just got to be a newbie. Got to be. Maybe you stepping up a little too fast. And, you know, how is you over here type of situation. See, I've seen those. I've seen them, same type of people, them newbies. And I call them newbies because, you know, you've been around this game long enough, you can see that some of the stupid shit that people do that you know they new to the game. Because of some of the things that they do. You hear, but based on your actions, we know you new to this. But you're here. Take my hat off to that part. But it's the dumb shit that you do that makes me wonder, who's schooling this dude? Bro, you can't win. You might as well pick it up. Can tell already you have no respect for the dog. You have no respect for the game. Which means we don't have any reason not to have any respect for you. Me personally, I took that type of shit serious. I think when we had Mama on, you know, that, you know, he was talking about, he knew we were serious when we, you know, we ran into one of them situations at one of our shows, and dude picked his dog up and got mad and slammed it on the ground, and I went straight into his ass because it was total disrespect. Not just to all the dog men that were there, but the fact that it was our show and you disrespect the dog in our house. Yeah, that kind of shit right there, that kind of shit bothers me. And so when I see the way things are and people talk about, you know, breedings and people not being true to their word and all those things that go on being a part of this community, I still go back to separation. The real dog man, the real game dog man, understand completely where I'm coming from. Because nowadays, to be a game American Pit Bull Terrier game dog man, I feel like the risk is so much higher for them guys nowadays compared to what it was for us. Even though we had that risk, but it was so much of it going on, and we understood the risk to where things that we were doing back then, like if I look across the room and I seen somebody I did not know, I'd ask somebody that was standing next to me. And then they would ask somebody, hey, who's that dude over there? Somebody better speak up and be accountable for who the new face is. Back in my time period, there wasn't no cell phones to be recording things. Hell, you was lucky to even get in with a cell phone. We didn't worry about guns because back in my time period, we patting you down at the door. See, for me, that to me was just a part of the game. I mean, it's not like something that every once in a while you run into it, but how about if it was like that most of the time? Whether I was in the box or just running with the circle that we ran with, and we show up and we didn't feel disrespected in any type of way because you wanted to pat down. Or you wanted to make sure these your people, you account for everybody you bring in, yeah, I got them, all these right here. You can come on in, but, some of your people got to pay. No problem. That part right there is part of the game that I always understood that's just part of the game. I understand that. There's no reason to get mad or upset about, that situation. So the game Dogman understood these things, and they played close to like those was the rules. There's certain things you do and certain things that you don't do. There's certain things that you say and there's certain things that you don't say. Now, as a grown man, when I started this, there's a lot about this game that I had to learn. There's roles that I had to learn how to play. And that's why you always hear me talk about Joe, Nate, Mile Mile, Eminem, Stone City, Hardcore, Deep South. See, a lot of these guys, these were just them game dog men, and then they set for us a certain standard. And it had to be something about them that would have to help us out, help us be better game dog men. See, regardless of what Maurice Carver was doing back in the day with papers, or anybody else does with papers, and even us, remember? At Supernat's house, drinking that moonshine. Mo told you how he felt about how Ace was bred. What was the story? Did he really want to tell the story, or was he just trying to let us know? Coming from the horse's mouth, if you pay close attention, This is how I want you to breed this. I just want to see. Basically, what he was saying. I just want to see. Y'all stay in touch with me. Things like that. Being able to understand and have them kind of conversations, and you never know when they're going to tell you what they're telling you is the truth or not, because, like any story, everybody going to blow a story up. But that's just one of them conversations that I never got away from, because he never really came out and told us what he was trying to say, but he was trying to tell us based on he's filling in these things. So and so was on the yard at this time. Yeah. So what are you saying? He ain't bred like he's supposed to be bred? I mean, what are you trying to say? Well, I'm just telling you, I had them dogs on the yard. Okay. He brought that up for a reason. Remember walking the yard with him. Pay close attention to that dog. Now, he's talking about Ace. Now, remember, Ace is not on a chain. Ace is walking down through the yard with us, with the yard full of dogs, and ain't go after one single dog. And we here to breed to this dog, but this is still 6-time winner, grand champion Ace. So our ears is like this on everything that he's saying, because he wasn't worried about Ace going after nothing out there. Same thing with Jesse in Stone City. Yellow Book was running around the yard, y'all, and didn't attack a dog out there. But I think we had so many dogs, we didn't even want to put that shit to the test, because we had too many dogs. We deal with dogs and train dogs, never understood how those dogs got to have that type of relationship and understanding, being the kind of dogs these were. These were game American Pit Bull Terriers, y'all. They got their accolades, and they were running around amongst a yard full of dogs. So you can't take nothing away from what you're looking at, what you can see for yourself. So I always truly knew it was possible. Here, I have a house with an American Pit Bull Terrier in it. Any dog that she sees, her ears perk up, that tail get like this, and that little shit get up on her back, and she get that look in her face. She gets that stand. But she lives with my little Maldoodle. And as she's growing up, I had to really teach her, as she got older, you cannot be beating up on my little dog. And for me, that's the dog man part of me. I love her too much to get rid of her or send her away, or have to make a choice between what dog I'm going to keep. So in order for me to have to make this shit work, these two got to get along. Knowing that this little dog ain't going to be able to do nothing with this pit bull if this pit bull go nuts on him. But this same pit bull that I'm talking about, that I walk, it was a guy around the corner from me, had this big white fence. Now he's just a American Pit Bull Terrier owner. He keeps these dogs behind the pen. Every time we walk by there, he can hear my dog coming through there, and will always jump up on the fence, but he couldn't really get over the fence. Well, one day, walking by there, the dog didn't jump over the fence, the dog went through the fence. And my girl grabbed it. Thank God I have my breaking stick. But the fact of the matter was, what was she going to do? See, that was my thing. I got her on a leash. Dog comes through the fence, runs at her. For me, I had to unclip her because I had no idea what this dog was attacking me or who was it attacking. But I unclipped her. But 2, 3 minutes into it, the owner came out and I told him to grab his dog. Hold your dog. And I broke my dog off his dog. He didn't know what to do. He grabbing the dog by the hind legs like he was just gonna snatch it, just snatch it out my girl's mouth. And he was a male too. And I'm trying to tell him, don't do that. Because all he's doing is making her, a lot more crazy. So I can't really get in and do what I need to do because he ain't doing the right thing. I want you to get up on that dog. I need you to hold that dog between your legs, keep his head still, don't pull it away, and let me get her off. Let me break her off. And now hold your dog and take your dog home. 2 days later, he came and apologized about what happened. He said, I see you walking by here all the time. I said, yeah, and I see your dog hit that fence all the time too. But just that one day, that dog came through that fence. And that could have been anybody's dog. Just so happened I had the right kind of dog to deal with it. And I kind of scolded him about it because I knew he knew what I was talking about because just the same, he had no idea what to do. But he knew where I lived and he actually came around and wanted to apologize. The dog was kind of busted up. But again, that's a dog man with an American Pit Bull Terrier. I consider myself an American Pit Bull Terrier game dog man. Two different kind of men dealing with the same type of animal. How many of these do we have out there compared to these? Well, if you sit back and you have the knowledge and understand where I'm coming from as far as my role in this game, my brother's role in this game, what we are to this game, it should be easy to understand what roles that certain men played in this game. So it's easy to talk about this. But it's a whole lot harder when you're doing this. Because your success as an American game dog man was always going to be based off of your dog and your dog's accolades. That's what the American goddammit Pit Bull Terrier game dog man, that's where his head is. That's what he want to be feeding out there. What's the next breeding? How can I make this shit better? How can I get my conditioning program up to par? See, they're always looking for the knowledge. When I hit some of these platforms, I watch some of the questions that's asked. I watch how people answer. I see, for me, it's funny simply because the platforms are so big and you have so many people saying and doing things. If I was trying to find out something, I wouldn't even know how to even handle it based off the abundance of information and how much you got to read down to see how many people really know what they talk about compared to how many people who don't know what they're talking about. And so when I talk to the American game dog man, I'm taking it that you understand where I'm coming from when I talk about the love of the game and the love of the dog. Because as you notice, We just had our protege, one of the proteges on Tuesday night to stop through. And even he made a comment like, "Twin, y'all let y'all dogs go. We wasn't open to the public." Which he was right. We wasn't open to the public either. It's just when shit hit the fan, when Mo was getting divorced, he just moved a lot of dogs. But thank God I kept some. Because that didn't last long for him because he didn't know what he preferred to deal with the dogs than be trying to deal with his marriage. To me, that right there, I always told myself, I'm going to let him just be that part. And let me just stick to my business part. Because there's not too much that my brother don't know when it comes to these dogs. I mean, he knew how to bring them back alive. He used to be at a lot of the shows, and they would be dependent on Mo, Twin, handle the aftercare. Used to ride around just to show up. They called him, "Hey, we're gonna pick you up because we want you to do the aftercare." He was just that good. Had his little toolbox and everything he needed. But then, to me, that's him. I'm not going to say I'm like him, because I'm not. I don't go through the extremes that he do. I'm only extreme when it comes down to the business part of this. He's the real deal. And a lot of you guys out there who you jump out there, you got your podcast, you're doing all that, but not just, let me put it like this. Understanding the history is one thing, but applying what you've learned, that's a whole new different ball game. That's a whole new different ball game. Understanding the history, you can know a lot of shit by just reading and listening to people. But what good is it if all that you know, you can't apply enough of it to where it'll work in your favor when you're actually promoting yourself as a game dog man? Because for me, it takes, like, imagine you in the game 20 years and you really don't have nothing to show for it. Imagine that. Me as a businessman, I understand this. I'm not just talking from a dog man's point of view because my brother's the dog man. But I'm saying to myself, if my brother, the dog man, was in this game all these years and all this shit and time that you gonna put into these damn dogs, and we can't get nothing to win. Nothing. All these people we rolling with and we don't have nothing. My advice to my brother as his partner was to tell him, we need to get out of these dogs. That would have been, I would have been pushing that. And I feel like if I didn't do that, you know what I'm saying, then I would have just been sitting back, letting him just take a beating. Where's my love at for my brother, first of all? Let alone the dogs that he running through. I wouldn't do that. That's why he was always into every aspect of this game. He didn't leave out nothing. So for all the ones out there, you really don't know us, I'm trying to explain something to you. There are some dog men, and then there are some game dog men. And 90% of the game dog men I know always has something. Always had something to where their work spoke for itself. Their work, their accomplishments, their dog's accolades spoke for itself. And if that's what we're supposed to be doing as far as these podcasts and talking about the history, then we have to put everybody in a proper category. Game dog man over here and the dog man over here. Two different type of dog men in my book. And I don't knock either side because I don't want none of them over there knocking nothing that we was doing over here. So to be fair about it, I'm not going to knock what they doing. But my thing is, truly, my heart goes out to the game dog man, maybe because that's where I come from. Those are the people that I watch, coming up on them times in their life, they're dying off. Are we going to be losing the real game dog men? I don't think so. This game been going on too long for us to lose it. Remember, I took you to the story about way back in 1958. Showed y'all the story. Same thing that they were saying back then, they saying right now. And look at all the years have passed. So them conversations, I think I did it from the 50s to the 60s, to the 70s, to the 80s, and the 90s, and some in the 2000s. I remember that, I always try to make that point, when we say things. Let me tell you about this game. I've lived this game, every aspect of this game. And I can truly tell you, hasn't much changed, except for the law. As far as the dogs, the men, the names change, the dogs change, but as far as what do you need to be a game dog man, ain't none of that shit changed. It is how they take care of their business. How things happen the way they happen. And we always try to teach you about that situation. Where your camera's at. Don't do this, don't do that. Walk your dog, carry your breaking stick. Do all these things that we try to just keep y'all aware of, that this is nothing new to us. So if we can help you in any type of way to not find yourself in certain situations, then that's what we do. Take that advice and find something in these conversations, in these podcasts that you can use that's going to make what you're doing based on the love of the dog. Because for me, to be in this fraternity of the American Pit Bull Terrier, you can have any other type of dog, but you choose this dog. And I ain't gonna never let y'all forget the purpose of what this dog was. Period. That I am not changing history to set, when it comes to your feelings. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to jump around and dip and dodge. No, I'm going to take you back. This was the purpose of the American Pit Bull Terrier. That part is going to always be in the dog, and as long as you're dealing with the dogs, that's going to always show up somewhere, somehow, in some way. It's down to what kind of dog man got the damn dog. So that part for me is not something that I feel like is an arguing point to anybody. Because if you got an American Pit Bull Terrier and you just feel like it's American Pit Bull Terrier, but he don't bite, and he don't do this, and he don't do that. Okay, I believe you. I believe you. Don't take nothing away from what you're doing and how you doing it. That also takes me back to my man I was talking about around the corner. He had an American Pit Bull Terrier too. He knew that dog was jumping up on that fence like that. They never thought the dog would run through the fence and it's a damn vinyl fence. And then for it to actually happen on that day, you had no idea what to do. None. Those are the things I be talking about. You know what I mean? Those things happen. Now let's just take it. All right, he must love the American Pit Bull Terrier because he got two of them. Maybe he's not. He doesn't. He don't know my love of the game and my role in this game. So when I broke out the breaking stick, he don't. That's something. Oh shit! Ooh, ooh. Oh, you got a stick? Yeah, I got this. This is what I need you to do. Don't pull that dog like that. See how I'm holding this dog? You need to get up on, pick your dog up, and put him between your legs and hold him, and let me do this. Totally two different men trying to handle a bad situation. What dog men are you trying to be? Our very first show, we always said, when you're coming into this thing and when we get started, you got to pick out which part of the game you're trying to be in. Over the years, the 2.5 years that we've been doing this, I've learned to know a lot about the people out there, a lot about our audience, and a lot about, a lot of things. And like time has shown, there's a lot of people out there with bulldogs. But the thing is, we're the ones that's worthy of talking about. See, that's the part that you guys have to worry about moving forward, regardless of what some of y'all might think. Nobody that I know of personally was ever trying to make history to be something to be talking about when it came down to these dogs. No one I've ever known. I remember I was on Atlas Brewer's yard, James Edwards' yard, met Mr. Kimsey Woods, dealt with Sheriff Powell, hung out with Mama. Look at all the names I could tell you the people I hung around, and none of them ever gave me the impression that they was trying to do something great. None of them. Not even Victor. I showed you the story a couple weeks ago when there wasn't nobody out there but Grand Champion Luke Kane and the Brat. Man had no idea what was going to come after that story. But look what happened. He let history take its course. See, that's the thing about this game, fellas. You don't have to argue and try to show what you know and, put yourself in somewhere where you feel like you got to make people believe what you're saying and how you saying it. I never looked at this show in that type of manner. Never. And because y'all don't know us personally, there's just certain type of ways we handle shit. I always remind y'all, hell, we Marines, all right? Y'all don't know us personally, but we have our attitudes and we have certain ways of how we deal with shit. We ain't really ones, to go back and forth to arguing shit because I've never been one for that talking shit. Talking ain't never got nothing done. Never, how am I tell y'all that, hey man, stop all the talking and let's start see some action. When you live as long as I have and still be alive with that type of attitude, sometimes it pays to just know when to hold them and when to fold them. I always felt like, for us, we always tried to stay on the right side of things by doing the things the right way. So when we had to step over that line, we had all and every reason to go as far as we wanted to go when it came down to dealing with something, and be willing to deal with the consequences, because we're trying to be right the whole way. Some people, they do shit, which is okay because you make a choice to do whatever you want to do. But because of your choices, how are you willing to take on the consequences of the choices that you make? I've seen a whole lot of that in my life. All the way down to the dogs. Even though it was almost blew my mind out when, not just on one occasion, I could think of a couple occasions where I seen people flip out just because we were the ones with the dog. Never understood how you even got this far. That you feel like somebody set you up, or no, it's down, I prefer to just pay the forfeit. Never understood that. Not at the level that we was at. I remember, we told you there was a time in our career that we stopped telling people, and when people were running around looking for ways, stop telling them. Just we'll be there with the weight, and we'll make it happen. Because that was the fun of it. That's, to me, that was what made it exciting, because you don't know. I wasn't really worried about who the hell was over there. Hell, Mo made it clear, hey, we used to go into the journal and go find the best thing moving. And most of the time we was looking for something that was already out there. A kennel that was already doing something. It wasn't the backyard shit. We skipped the backyard shit when we left North Carolina. But it was the DOGMEN that have, I don't know, fellas. I don't know if we was lucky. I don't know what the fuck to call it. Because there was so many great DOGMEN that I can talk about, and we have shown y'all that, hey, one damn thing for damn sure, we can go in here and show you these boys put in work. These boys have accolades. These boys is bulldoggers. They game DOGMEN. A lot of names out there I don't know. A lot of people I don't know. But them the ones when you talk about them, put this shit up there. Because to me, that's where it all lies for me. The DOGMEN who's true to the game, he don't have to really say much. All he got to do is pull up his shit. And that speaks for itself. I wouldn't give a damn if Pat Patrick never fought a dog. But when you start talking about him, you better kind of understand. When I start ratting off this man's accolades, being that you're talking shit about that man, this man's accolades speaks for itself. All right, but let's talk about you. Let's talk about you. Let me hear yours. See, people get pissed off when that kind of shit come up. You know what I'm saying? That part right there. See, that part right there, that has been around, y'all. I can guarantee you it has been around since day one when they actually started putting these dogs and doing them conventions all the way down to the Madison Square Garden, Louisiana, Texas. Remember, all over the place. I guarantee you, you had them ones who was out there running their damn mouth, and somebody called them on it, and they would have to tell, you put up or you shut up. I never wanted to be the one running around talking this shit and didn't have shit. Fat Bill might have been able to talk all the shit he wanted, but one thing I noticed about Fat Bill would have showed up. Regardless of what people say or think, and how, and that us Fat Bill shit, that shit ain't shit. If the truth hurts somebody that bad, I can understand that coming from a person who 90% of the game just didn't like. Why? It's not the Fat Bill could fight. It's not the fact that Fat Bill always had good dogs. It's the fact that Fat Bill talks shit. You got them out there. But every time it came down to it, he would show up. I don't have nothing bad to say about a person to do that. As long as they bringing a bulldog. Because I ain't never heard Fat Bill kick nobody's ass. I done heard about Fat Bill getting slapped, punched, and all kinds of shit. Never was in a situation I had to worry about nobody putting their hands on me. Because I never was one to run around talking shit. But at least Fat Bill himself got accolades. That's why I can talk shit about him and give a fuck about what he said about me or my brother. I know the truth hurt, but got your own podcast. Don't use that motherfucker to talk about me. Use that motherfucker to talk about yourself. Tell them why you don't talk about them Kurds. Them multi-winning Kurds. Tell them why. Because they Kurds. Okay, well, they wasn't Kurds when they was winning 4, 5, 6, 7. They wasn't Kurds then. What was the difference? I'm going to tell y'all what the difference was. Because you changed them circles. You got out of where you was comfortable at. And you got over there where they was really doing some shit. And I know Ed, Farron, Fergie, all of them. Your boys. The migraines, the tadpoles, the Bronsons, the Dukes, the Luthers, the Snooties, the Bully Sons. They ever really, old man Mr. Green, back when Dougie was doing this show, and I don't know if some of y'all was around to hear old man Green when he was out there, doing the show. I don't know if you guys would understand. There was a time period where us men of color, they had great dogs. To me, Buffalo Soldier, he was new. He was in that clique, but he really wasn't in that clique because he got his ass whooped too much. He took too much of a beating. But they still respected him because he could win. But if he had a won more than he lost, will we still be able to understand and know who Buffalo Soldier was as a man of color? I don't think so. You see a lot of great pictures of what it used to look like. But you watch how time moved up, how things changed, like everything else in history. Now, as these things moved up, come on now. We had a whole lot of game dog men that was making that move. And then we had a whole bunch of bullshitters too. The ones that just had American Pit Bull Terriers. You know? And for me, being able to live and experience 30, 40 years of being around dogs and dog men, I don't need nobody to question anything that I say based on what I'm saying, because I can truly tell you, you ain't got to hear about it from nobody else. You can hear it from me. You can hear it from Mo. We seen it. We was a part of it, all the way down from the Latinos to the Haitians and the Jamaicans, down to the Cubans, down to our white compadres. That was everything as far as white Carolina, here in Florida, Ohio. You know, Suburbanite Paul was a white guy. Think about all the white guys we done been to their houses and hung out with. So I never ever thought color had anything to do with any of this shit. Trust me, fellas, it wasn't about the color. It was always going to be about the dog. You don't get no respect in the game dog man's world unless you got something to stand on. Something that you in a room full of some damn dog men, you better have, and you got the loudest mouth, you better have something. Don't be over here running your mouth and don't have shit, because you're going to get called on that shit. And dog men is like, game dog men is like they dogs. They don't sit back and listen to none of that bullshit. They in a heartbeat. You ain't got shit. Go get some shit. Go borrow some shit. That's what I'm be listening to over my years of watching this shit. So when I'm watching the shit that's going on these platforms, man, I'll be, go get a dog. Who is you? I don't even have no idea. Don't even worry about who I am. You'll know who I am once I'm done with your ass. Because a lot of times, fellas, trust me, we got in and got a lot of things happening simply because people did not know who we were. In the beginning, a lot of the shit with the Mikeys and even going into Bill and them, and even winding up over there in Puerto Rico or up in Tennessee, Louisiana, down in Texas. Them people didn't know who the hell we was. To them, we was just dudes showing up with a dog. And in the end, you do enough for that, they start knowing who you are. And when you got that many years under your belt, your accolades gonna speak for itself. That once they know who you are, you feel like a little bit better with the community that you're in, the people that you're around, and understanding the concept of what it really takes to be a game dog man. Because that's the part of the game, fellas, that American Pit Bull Terrier game dog man, that's the part that they was always telling Twin, whatever y'all do, y'all pass that part forward. Didn't really get a grip and understand that until, you know, I watched Mo on Pro Show. That, to me, my brother was actually just reaching out, trying to talk the game. Yeah, he was part of the game. And get out here, and people wanted to hear that. He wasn't pulling nobody's leg. He was just telling you his history. But when that came in being a problem, you're confusing people, man. You're confusing people. Here's a real dog, man. Here's somebody that don't know no shit. You know, are you helping anybody more, or are people having to choose between what's this and what's that? And no. Took that one argument when I said no, you ain't gonna do it that way. And y'all notice that part of our show has not changed since then. We say what we have to say and we move on. Because for me, that's what real game dog men do. Talking ain't gonna get nothing settled. Talking that shit ain't gonna change shit. You want to change my mind about anything? Anything? Oh, it felt like come see me. Cause I don't have no problem coming to see you. I just want to make sure that wherever I'm coming, somebody gonna answer the door. Cause I'm gonna be mad as hell if don't nobody answer the door. But the game dog man, and if you read all the journals, all the stories, all the history that this game had, we wouldn't have none of that history and these great fights to talk about if they wasn't gentlemen. You hear more, conversations about great fights and how they happen and how they ended, and with no drama, because they talking about this, the game, the dog, the man, the scratches, the handles, everything. Read the stories. They're right there. But if it's on the outside, when you read the other little stories that be in the journal and the American Game Dog Times, read the stories. That's when you hear about all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where they vent at. And even in them stories, when they vent like that, you'll notice, if you pay attention, the people who was venting and the people they was talking about, they gonna get your dog, that piece of shit over there, whatever the hell it is, and give me a date, and we're gonna settle this. I said you had a yard full of shit, and I meant that. Now, if you feel different, you go get some shit off of that that yard of yours that you feel like I'm talking about, and bring your best shit, and we can settle that. That's what game dog men do. There's no need to keep going back and forth. You go get a dog, and we gonna do this. Make sure you bring in your best shit. Cause I don't want no more excuses. I don't want no more problems when you start talking about my shit. And some people used to just talk shit just to get under people's skin and make them want to get into something. Like take the Victor and the David Tant situation. From all the shit that David Tant pulled when it came down to Victor getting his hands on Mayday and them, damn it, Victor wanted Tant's ass. He wanted I want the best shit you got on the yard. Those are the kind of beasts I'm talking about. Or Victor and Stone City. Mayday and Yellow Buck. Yellow Buck's dead. Victor's way over in another country. What is y'all beefing about? And both of them got great dogs. But you never, ever heard about Stone City going into none of them Mayday dogs that Victor had at that time period. None of them. Now, why y'all think that? You got to kind of know Stone City. Remember my relationship with Stone City and how it fell apart. Remember that talking shit part, right? Remember, sometimes you talk that shit and then, before you know it, you're going to get called on that shit. Talking shit don't work all the time. And it's just something that never happened. But trust and believe me, because I can tell you it wasn't due to Victor not having some shit because he had enough people that had his dogs out there that whatever it would have happened. But then that was just like Jesse being upset when he found us having to go into Stone City Dog, where our Mayday Stone City Cross. And that dog that was supposed to be a good dog got smashed. Literally. So, of course, that just brings tension. This is why Mo made it clear. When we always made it clear. We always told y'all we never ever went into our mentors. Anybody we ran with, and when I say we ran with, there was a relationship there. You never hear us going to Eminem. You never hear us going into Stone City. You never hear us trying to go after any of that shit that Victor had. I even had friends, my hall friends, that wanted to go into Victor. The Mayday dogs. And I'm telling them, man, and these are my boys. These are my mentors out of Ohio. I'm telling them, look, man, you don't want to do that, bro. On a couple occasions, they coming to beat up on that shit. I'm going to be there. But don't act like I didn't tell you. Hooked them right in the Barracuda. Hooked them right in the Twisted. Tried to hook them in the Luke Kane. But they don't act like they wasn't trying. But how do you think they got like that? Why? Because we start bringing the Mayday dogs, we in Ohio. We smashing this shit. We leave Ohio. We in Florida. They talking that shit. I can bring Florida to Ohio, or y'all can come and y'all can bring that shit here. And, stop all that bullshit. But the thing is, I'm talking about game dog men. We can settle all this shit. You get your shit, and we'll see it. And that's what it's all gonna come down to. We made them believers in the end. But the only way we're going to get to that point is don't talk that shit. Be about that shit and just, you got to get over there. Twin set it up. I'll set it up. But you see, sometimes that can get you in trouble too. Like Pandy. May. Hopefully we cool with everybody, but look. Get Twin on the line. See if he can make it happen. Cause a ruckus. See, but then I can deal with them type of ruckuses, y'all, because those are game dog men. And guarantee you, their conversations always gonna lead to you get your shit, I get my shit, and we gonna settle this shit. The back and forth and the talking shit and the ripping people off. Remember, dogs have been. These American Pit Bull Terriers, some of the greatest dogs have been stolen. Why you think people steal great dogs? I don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out, do I? Remember, we've had dogs stolen. If the dogs wasn't shit, why is anybody willing to steal them? See, that's the problem for me with this game. And it's been like that from way back then. You know what I mean? Let's take it like this. Let's make that a part of the game. Because when you got dogs worthy of anything that people talk about, you can best believe somebody coming to get it. They hit James Edwards' yards. I'm pretty sure they hit Tant's yard. There's a lot of people. Remember, Art got stolen. I think a couple dogs. I can't even think of off the top of my head. I know Bolio was stolen. There's a couple more of them out there. Great dogs that were stolen. I think Nigarino was stolen. There's a lot of great dogs were stolen. Mikey got stolen. Judo got stolen. Speedy got stolen. The shit got stolen. If these dogs wasn't worthy of shit, they would just be normal dogs on a chain. If a great dog man got dogs, he can expect somebody trying to steal them. If you got a dog worthy of people even talking about, you can worry about it being stolen. Because we have them type of people out here, y'all. I mean, don't ever think that this American Pit Bull Terrier community is still a part of what we call life. It's just a different part of life. And we move and we groove and we have our own different communities to do what we do in communities. And I ain't never seen any community where I could literally say was perfect. There's always going to be some bullshit going on. Why? Because there's going to be people involved. Dogs ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit. Nothing. Dogs ain't just not taking themselves off the chains and choosing their own owners. It's still people. But when it comes down to what kind of person are you trying to be in this game, this community? Who are you trying to be? Are you trying to be the thief? You trying to be the gambler, the hustler, the cheater, you trying to be that person? Or you trying to bring some good to the game? See, that's why I don't knock and get into what people choose to do, whether you're guard training or running up a wall or doing anything. See, those things haven't been established well enough over my 40 years of being around these dogs. We haven't gotten to that part yet. We haven't gotten a grand champion weight puller or grand champion wall climber. I mean, the community hasn't gotten to that point yet, y'all. So don't be mad when I say that shit, because we haven't. So how do you think we got to the point to where we were actually giving champions and grand champions and ROMs and PORs and giving that kind of accolade? Because at some point in history, these things were needed. I can't even remember, but I heard on somebody's show about the first time that somebody used the word grand champion for a multi-winner. And that's where it started at. I mean, history will go back and tell us about that because it's out there. Out there when these things started changing. It's out there when they was out there putting the books together. Now you can track the wins and the matches and who they was going into and who's got the real shit. Remember, that's what the game did for us and people before us and so many after us. The game DOGMEN did that, y'all. The dogs didn't do that shit by themselves. And where would them game DOGMEN be, being that all of them wasn't breeders? All of them wasn't just breeders, no. So I have all the respect for the American Pit Bull Terrier breeder. All the respect in the world. Because remember my other kennel partner, that's all he was. Why would I spit on them? Knowing that the dogs that we did anything with, there was a man that was behind the scene who was creating all that shit. We was just putting it to work, put it to the test, and then believed in it enough to breed it and put it back out there. See, to me, that's what you're trying to do. And, for us anyway, that's what we were doing. That's what we were doing as far as what we wanted to be in this game. And remember, there's so many people we wanted to be like. And we always told y'all we would never get to the status of the people we talk about. But I can guarantee you, when I say their name and show you their accolades, before y'all talk shit on any of them, you got to bring something to the table that could come anywhere close to them. Because they're going to always be talked about. Even though they don't want to be talked about. Because if it don't be for us, they wouldn't be talked about. Y'all wouldn't hear about the Mau Maus. the M&Ms, the Ohio Cash, the James Popes, the Bill Struthers, Latin Force, Havana Boys, VBK. I mean, I could just keep running these names, man. It's kind of like y'all might not even know who, but then you need to really, if you just do your history, I guarantee you're gonna find them in books. Hell, you can read about VBK right there in Schoolboy's book. They way out in California, came all the way from California, come over and buy one of our dogs, and actually took that dog way out to California and made her a champion. And yes, she was every bit a going hard dog because she didn't do no different than what the rest of the going hard dogs are doing way over there in California. In another game dog man's hands. Same thing with Jamie. That's why we call them going hard dogs. Anything that came off that yard or through that man's hands, our kennel partner's hands, that's a going hard dog. And there's just certain things that we expected out of it. We never tried to be like Foy Boudreaux or anybody else. What we were trying to be like was the ones that you hear me talk about, like the Stone Cities and the Southern Kennels and the Deep Souths and the Mau Mau's and the M&M's and the Ohio Cashes. You know, them boys right there, you're going to find them if you had, you're going to find them in the journals. The Tony Rogers. And I mean, golly, man, this is just so big because the community is just that big. But when I'm talking about these people who are fans and all these, you're gonna, if you is down about this community league like I'm talking about tonight, the love, the difference, American Pit Bull Terrier, game dog, man, you're gonna find these people. And ain't got to look hard. That's what we be talking about. These people ain't people we make up. These people, you don't have to look hard to find out they work. We're trying to give you an understanding what we went through based on what made us, what drove us, what created that monster in Mo. Give you all the insights. Don't leave out shit. Understanding his attitude, everything. Because you don't know him personally, so the only thing that you have is this damn camera. See, I will not let that part of him be forgotten. Thank God for this camera. And I say that because I don't know what might happen to him in his situation. Moving forward. But one damn thing for sure, I won't let him forget about him. Because he has the accolades to be talked about. The minute he can't speak for himself, I will speak for him until the day I can't speak no more. But these videos will take care of that. Because I try to make sure we don't leave out nothing. Because you never know what that next man gonna look like. And when I hear the people that we talk about, we won't let y'all forget, talk about us, and tell you how they had so much influence on us. And I can tell you, if you go back and look at their amount of work, why wouldn't you want to be like that and do what they was doing? At least find out what the hell, how they got to that point. What's the secret? Whatever the fuck it is, you need to be over there, suck all that shit in. Sometimes it pays to just shut up and just listen and learn. I'm a true believer in that because that's where we come from. Listen, learn, and then take what you picked up, what you learned, down to everything, feeding, taking care of them, conditioning, sicknesses, everything. Those are game dogmen to me. Because we have a product that we're proud of. Because if it ain't worth shit, then it ain't gonna be on the yard. If you can't get by our standards, it don't be on the yard, so you'll never hear us talk about them. Most say it all the time. You don't hear us talk about none of that shit. Couldn't tell you about it because it didn't make the yard. Those are valuable animals, but you got to learn to take care of. With all the shit that comes with them, including the people. All the bullshit. But that game, DOGMEN, in order to be in that position, he would have already understood his product and how much important and valuable it is to him. My thing to y'all is, how many out there are really trying to be a game dog man? Now, for me, a game dog man don't have to climb over the wall. But a game dog man gonna have that dog running up a wall, running up a wall, or pulling some down weights, or at a confirmation show, or doing something, putting in some work, trying to make a name for that dog in his kennel. That's a game dog man for me. I don't give a damn what you doing, as long as you putting in some work, because your dog success is only due to what you doing, the work you putting in. I don't need a platform to talk about my shit until now, because we're not doing anything now. We're giving back to the game. Don't have time to be up here bullshitting with you, lying to you about something, and then show it hell don't have no time to be arguing with you. Because goddamn it, when it come down to the arguing point, I go straight to the facts. The fact is, boom, put it on them, Mo. Now, how many times have y'all seen anybody come back and show us they shit? Anybody? Anybody? What they end up doing is run out there and run around and go finding some shit and trying to find some shit and be getting knocked all upside the fucking head. For ones who's been around, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's just us, and we ain't nobodies. We're nobody compared to the people we talk about. Nobody compared to the people we talk about. To the people that we trying to show y'all, hey, these are the type of people who had a lot to do with us. Our proteges took that same concept and they went and did it. These other people who actually got their hands on dogs, being that we wasn't public to everybody, they took the same shit and this is what they did with it. Guess what? That's the fact. That's history. We can't change none of that. It is what the fuck it is. So I don't have no problem sitting here talking about, I'm one of them, I'm one of them game dog men, y'all. My brother, he's really one of them game dog men. I can't tell you why they are the way they are, but they just of a special kind of breed, man. And you got to respect them for it. That's what you're working for, regardless of what you're doing. If that's what you're trying to be. If you ain't trying to be that, then you ain't into it like these guys are. Like those guys were. You ain't two different type of dog men, man. You know what I'm saying? And that part of these platforms and these conversations, I'd be wanting to make that clear. Because if you feel like you got to argue and talk some shit, let your work speak for itself. Because that's all we've ever done here. Give a damn what Pat Bill's ass say. The fact is, he can't change history. And it is what it is. Give a damn how much shit you talk. And I know you can't whoop my ass, so you ain't never beat up nobody. Don't nobody like him in the game, but he ain't never heard him beating up nobody. And the reason I keep using him, because he was a prime example of the kind of people I talk about. Because there aren't any other people out there on his level to try to do the shit that he do. Ain't nobody out there doing what he doing when it comes to us. Because he Fat Bill, don't ever let that part fool you. Don't let that part fool you, because one thing Fabio can't do, he can't change history. And he know I always speak on it, even though Mo don't. I'm gonna tell you why he never brought Bolero back over there, y'all. Ever. He never went back over there after them 3 losses. Ever. Ever. So when y'all holler Bolero, Bolero never made it back over there. And she was all that great, he'd have bought him like he bought them other 3. Believe that. That's the part he don't like hearing, because again, why would he? Well, she never got pissy. You know what I mean? I don't know what you're mad about. But it's the fact. I ain't trying to hurt your feelings. I know you don't like hearing it. But remember, I ain't, respect you as a dog, man, but as a person, you blew that, bro. I ain't never got like thing I gotta say. Ain't ever. But one damn thing, when it comes to these bulldogs, we know. And we let the world know, because that's a story you could have had yourself. That's the part you didn't want people to know. But again, who's going to tell us what to say on our channel? Now, I know I don't worry about him doing nothing else, because he ain't never been known to do shit else but talk shit. And talking shit ain't never bothered me. When I get enough of that, I can stop the talking by doing what I'm doing right now. Put it out there. Just put it out there. Because it don't bother me. And I want everybody to understand that when you're on these platforms and you see all that back and forth and you find yourself in the midst of that shit, is that the part of the game you're trying to be a part of? Because that shit right there don't make you a good dog man. And the show as hell don't make you a game dog man. For me, a game dog man work is going to always speak for itself. Period. That's why them things like honor, truthfulness, integrity, love of the game, all that comes with what it really means to carry that title of American Pit Bull Terrier game dog man. Like every community, you're going to have your problems. But the good going to always outweigh the bad. And I really, truly believe that. And I had that conversation simply because it's needed. To me, it is needed. Because I look and I go in and I sit down and I just try to support any and everybody. And I watch this community. But to all my people out there on the back street, to all my boys with that night vision on, them the ones I have all the respect for, because guess what? Ain't that the world I come from? One damn thing they can do, they can sit here and go find going hard and know that they sit in front of a fucking camera and talk about their past. Talk about the great dogs, the great dog men, the history of the American Pit Bull Terrier. And not afraid. That's okay for me. Should be okay for anybody else, because again, nobody's breaking our arm and twisting it or got a gun to our head to tell us to do this. This is our way of giving back. This is the easiest and the best way for us. Not sitting down trying to write a book. One day, I might sit down and finish this book. Only problem is I don't know how it's going to end. That's all. Because I wanted it to be a book about us and our dogs and our people and what led to that crazy life of the American Pit Bull game dog man. That when I sit down and I look at people's papers and I go them 10, 15 years back and I see all them guys and I know them guys and I know that dog and I mean all of that been on the yard, seen that, the pictures. See, it's different when you ain't never been a part of something. But when you have to understand, at one point we was just like y'all. There was a point that we had to be just like y'all. But it's because of the community and the people we surrounded ourselves is what made that ride so enjoying. And I can understand why Mo is the way he is. I can understand why Tony was the way he was, why Kenny Allen was the way he was, why Tant and Crenshaw and even Floyd. And he's living. It'll be a sad day when he's gone. Mike Loomis, gone. I mean, it's just so much that this game really had to offer when it comes to the history and having people willing to share their experience and their knowledge. That not everybody appreciates that. And me, what's the good of learning the history of basketball if you ain't gonna never pick up a basketball? I always, there's two great players in my lifetime, and I speak this with truth. I was in North Carolina for Michael Jordan's junior and senior year in high school. They were always playing against the team in Kinston. They had this guy named Harold Suggs. I remember Stackhouse, Shaq, all of them came from this one area that I'm talking about. But then you had that great player named Michael Jordan. I remember going to a state championship game, and it was Harold Suggs going against Michael Jordan in the state championship finals. And that was my first time seeing two men go off. And I remember calling my boys at home and saying, man, there's this kid coming out of Carolina named Jordan. Boy, he did every kind of dunk known to man. And to watch the different ways these boys' life, I seen which way Jordan went, and I say, nobody knew about Harold Suggs. What happened? Well, I lived in the city where he lived. I knew what happened to him. I just knew Jordan by the talk, getting a chance to see what it looked like. Knew what it looked like when he went to Carolina. I remember another one, Stackhouse went to Carolina too. Who else? My boy Shaq went to North Carolina State. You already know Brandon Ingram, he's still in the league. He came right out of the same place. But these are guys that I look at and be saying, I remember them when they was young kids. I'm in the military now, so I know I had AIDS on them. I'm still young, but I know I got AIDS on them. I get a chance to see now, all these years later, in my 60s, to see great things that came out of all of them. I seen it. I watched that grow all the way down to LeBron from being a kid. LeBron used to play with my brother, my little brother, who was a great basketball player. They played AAU together. Summer Lake. Knew all of them. Told you I knew his man and his mom went to school together. But to see the growth and see what it looks like. But remember, we had all that living to do, and now you can see it. That's how I feel about these dogs. I was that young kid back then. And I'm just around all these great people. I wanted to be just like them. So I can imagine who did Jordan wanted to be like? Who did Kobe wanted to be like? Who did LeBron wanted to be like? All of them wanted to be like somebody. Guess what? Guess what? I wanted to be like my people too. I could never rise to what they was because they had more years on us. But just to be able to get to where we got by just them. And I mean, there's so many of them. From Rochester, New York to Detroit. Man, I don't even want to go down the list. There's so many. To be a part of that. That's something special. Not just for me, but understand why my brother is at a hardcore game, DOGMEN. Because that's what they look like, y'all. That's what they look like. That's what they act like. If y'all don't get nothing out of this conversation, get me, understand where I'm coming from. Because being 63 years old, I'm not a young buck doing the talking. That means I got age. And some of y'all that's out here, I know I got a whole lot of age over. And there's so many more out there that's way under me. I hear people talk about 40, 20, and 30. That's young. I mean, you still got 30 plus years to get to where I am. So there's a whole lot of time that goes on in between. But when what we share with you is something that we live through. I know what it is to live through that part of life. But that's not all my life consisted of. It's not. We're only going to tell you about the dog game. Our life consisted of so much more. So much more. But we hold that part special. Why? I can't tell you. I still think it's just the love of the game. Because I can turn my computers around, you know. Let me see if I can show y'all a quick look at this shit here. Let me show y'all something right quick here. Let me get this on here. Let me show y'all something. Y'all see all that stuff over there? Huh? When I tell y'all I was into my music, did you ever think I was going to stop? You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. I was never going to stop that part, fellas. Just like he was never going to stop the dog thing, I myself never gave up on the music thing. To this day, all these years later. So I can say my passion about music, when ain't nothing going on. You already seen my horns and shit. When there's nothing going on, and what I do when I'm sitting around the house, when my brother's out playing with dogs, I'm over here playing in my own little studio. That's where my level, my passion falls. So I completely understand whatever floats your boat. But the same way I hang on to my music is the same way he hang on to his love for his dogs. At least try to be the best that you can be at whatever it is. Because I have fun, just as much fun as we had with the dogs, we had just as much fun in the music game. Just as much. That's a whole new story, bro. That's just a whole new part of that life that went along with that. But I think all of it has to do with the love. You know, some people had these dogs, they in and then they out. That's why I don't get mad at the person who had 6 and 7 losses and still kept trying. At least they was trying. What was they lacking? Maybe they was just lacking, not listening or didn't have the right people around them. There's a lot of shit that can lead up to that. But for the new audience, for the new people, I know you ain't out here trying to be that guy. So take advantage of all the information that's being shared. Go out and buy them books from Fat Bill and buy them books from Schoolboy and get you an old Richard Stratton book or some couple old journals and get on there and get in them and see what was going on and see what made this dog famous and see what made this man worthy of being talked about. Get in there and do your work and really tell yourself, is this what I really want to do? Is this what I'm really trying to do? And what's my goal? What am I trying to get out of this? Am I just going to be an American Pit Bull dog man, or I'm going to be an American Pit Bull Terrier game dog man? I mean, which one you trying to be? And like I remind you, when I say game, to me, a game American Pit Bull Terrier dog man is a man that's putting his dog to, damn it, work. Wouldn't care what kind of work he's doing, but let his accolades be seen. Let his performance be known, because it will be then he's going to be worthy of being even considered, even talked about in anybody's breeding program. And I be meaning that, because y'all still running around using the Jeep and all that other, the red boy. Well, when we talk about our dog, we ain't no Mayday fans. Look at all the different dogs we done bred to. When we talk about our dog, we talking about going hard dogs. Going hard dogs that came off that yard, they all gonna have a certain style. Is that due to our breeding program? Maybe, but hell, Mo can tell you that. He don't stick to that. They stick to a format. They stick to a formula, a pattern. They see what they're doing. They see what they want. They know what they're going to add to go and create the things that we tell you how we got there. That should tell you something. Being that we didn't create this shit. I mean, we didn't create the game. The game was already there. It just depended on what part of the game we wanted to be a part of. Well, we wanted to be just like them. So to be like them, you better get the knowledge that they got and do exactly what they did to get where they got. Some of y'all gonna make it, some of y'all ain't. But again, who am I to say? Because I never was expecting to do no more than what we did. Then we wasn't in the losing. We had to be up on our game. Proteges wasn't going to be, how you going to be learning from me and going out here losing more than you winning? Where y'all get that shit from? Because you sure didn't get it hanging around with us. So I would have expected no less from them. And they knew I felt just like Mama and Eminem and some of the other guys that come through, and when they sit back and be like, I remember y'all when y'all first, and followed y'all, even when Bill Struthers called, after all them years and said, I watched y'all, and I told them that night that y'all was going to do something. And I've been watching y'all. And then happened to see us doing the show and got the number and called. After all them years, they can still remember. And say, you know what, they proud of us. Y'all became some good ass. I knew y'all was gonna be some good damn dog men. And that's how I feel about our proteges. They work will always speak for itself. A lot of y'all talk that shit, but I can almost tell you, I put just their accomplishments against anybody out there, and it'll be like some of the other people. I hear people, a lot of people talking shit, but I know I pull up their shit. I want to see you come back and pull up your shit. Guarantee you won't see the same thing. You won't. And that ain't me just talking. That's me putting it on the damn table. Ain't trying to be no Floyd. Ain't trying to be Tant. I'm just telling you, when you put in the work, your accomplishments will speak for itself. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Believe that to the heart. That's why I find it so easy to be like, well, guess what? I don't have no problem. Just like I know they wouldn't have no problem. I know they got that work. I know we got that work. Just like I can tell you about Eminem. I can tell you about Stone City. I can tell you about Victor. I can tell you about Latin Force. I can tell you about the Havana Boys. I can tell you about Fonz. Street, goddamn. I ain't even trying to go down the list, man. You know what I'm talking about. Their success speaks for its damn self. Come on, man. Anybody who want to challenge that, at least bring something to the table that you're going to show that you have the right to even speak their name like they wasn't shit anyway. And then that puts me back, what kind of dog man you trying to be? Take you back in my era, I would be telling you go get a dog. Damn my accomplishments. I still got dogs. And be quick to tell you, the minute you broke some side, crip out the side of your mouth, I will be telling you, get a dog. Make sure you bring the best shit you got on your yard. That's a win or lose situation. May the best man win. But you better have just as much confidence about this shit as I got about mine. We didn't take many losses. I told y'all that. We wasn't in the losing. And the people I was around, I can truly say, 90, I'm going to keep it like Mo's numbers. I'm not going to get greedy. But 90% of the time, they won. And we moved around a lot of places and had a lot of fun. And I can truly tell you, 90% of the time, they won. Anybody want to put that to the test? I can just tell you now, we already heard the names I'm talking about. Facts speak for itself. It's not like I'm just bragging or anything. I'm just saying, let's just deal with the analytics of it. Let's talk about the work. Let's just talk about their work. Now that's mine. Now, where yours at? Hear crickets. Number crickets. You understand where I'm coming from? And I say that to say this. My brother's time is getting short. And I dread that day. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to and I always speak about Joe because since I seen Joe online, I got a chance to reach out to him and he was just giving a shout out because a couple of days ago was the day that his Nate died and it just brought back memories for him. And I had to show him my love. But I've lost a brother before. He was my younger brother. And I know how that felt. And I understand how close Joe and Nate was. Like McNasty and T. Like me and Mo. And I just couldn't imagine what that feels like when that's not there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I felt Joe when he was speaking about his brother. Which brings me back, here my brother in the hospital. These is real dog men. Give a damn what y'all think and what y'all say and everything, but When you start talking about these American Pit Bull Terriers, I'm talking about the game, damn it, dog man. The real shit. Them bout it. Who put in that work. Not just talked about it, but actually got a history that we can talk about. Now, I don't got nothing to do with anybody out here trying to make your own history. That's what history is all about. Something that you can look back 20 years later and say, there, that's me right there. This is how I got there. That's your own story. I'm not here to put nobody's stories down. What I'm here to do is help and preserve what's left. And so y'all understand, hey, in this history, there have been some game-ass dog men. There's been some dog men who have actually died doing what they love to do. That's fact. My brother get up every day, 5 o'clock every morning, to deal with his Malamore dogs. I don't have to do that dealing with only just 2 pit bulls and a little being. I mean, he added to that when he bought, went and got Hot Spice. One was bad enough to deal with 2. I'm like, that's getting a little bit too damn much for me. I liked it better when I had to drive 5 miles to my old house to go deal out on the yard. Because once I got over there, we was on the yard all day and all night. Loved it that much. I didn't never want him out there by himself. I never want to miss nothing. There was no animosity or jealousness about anything. You see, I do my part, my brother stick to his part. I let him do what he do. That's Mo. Anybody know what's out there? You know the difference between me and him. Mo gonna talk dog. Mo gonna tell you the deal. Mo is very knowledgeable. I will never be able to do what Mo did. Never wanted to. That wasn't my passion. Mo couldn't walk into this studio and do a damn thing, y'all. But yeah, he could. Mo was good at doing beats. I set the shit up. Mo just had this keen thing that everything I put down, Mo would put the drum track on it. That Mo could do. He wouldn't know how to get it there. All I have to do is set it up and let him do what he hear. And then, all right, then we program that. Get that part right there. I got that part right there. Y'all know what I'm saying. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'm going to just tell you to be straight up. I fear the day that I have to wake up knowing that my brother's not going to be there. I can truly tell y'all, nobody loves dogs like he do. Even though it might be some out there who do. But I'm only going to speak for him. For me, I think that's crazy love. Because with everything he got going on, he don't deal with shit. He don't deal with unruly dogs. He has always been Mo. Anybody know Mo? Gonna always say that about Mo. And if any point I want to get across to y'all, let it be that one right there. And he sits in front of this camera and he say the things that he says with passion. Because that's what he really love, y'all. He do. He really be trying to share that love and share that knowledge and share that experience. Like all the way down to jumping on the bus, get on the yellow footprints, have all your shit in hand. Because he's really, that's where we learned. That's the very first thing we learned for those who don't know. We got on the bus in our hometown. We wound up in South Carolina, Parasite, and the first thing that man said, get off the bus. When you get off the bus, I want you to get on a straight line and get your asses on the yellow footprints. Anybody get out there and look at the videos, you're going to see them. They're going to jump on the bus, they're going to scream and holler and tell you, get off my bus, get your shit, and get on the yellow footprints. that was the day that your life changed as a military Marine. Because the day you got off that bus, and you stepped on them yellow footprints, the next thing you were going to do was walk through that big ass door. By the time you came out the other end, you was not going to be the same person you was when you walked through those doors and came off them yellow footprints. So when he tell y'all to get on the bus and get on the yellow footprints, come back to his life to where he was, he taking you back. He wants y'all to get in there and just put yourself in his shoes. And understand that when you come out the other end, you're going to be a different dog, man, if you do what the fuck he's telling you to do. Same thing when we got off them yellow footprints and we went through them doors. For us, 12 weeks, it was hell. I can guarantee you I was not the same person when I came out that I was when I went in. And that's our philosophy. Get on the bus, get on them prints, get your dog, get your gear, get your thinking cap on, and take the ride. Because I know a lot of y'all don't know what the hell it is to have one between your legs. That's just the first part. Just one. But then to have one that you can call a champion, just one. That's an accomplishment. And to produce, even if it ain't but one champion, that's an accomplishment. But the fact you can do it multiple times, that's worthy and legendary status to where you're going to have something to talk about. It's just a matter of which dog man you're trying to be. We can only tell you about the one that we were. But in any case, you can use the knowledge that we give you to do whatever you want to do. But always make sure you got to love the dog first. If you love the dog first, your passion, you'll understand the passion. That would be better off when he's not going to work my program and give him to a nice home. That's all. It's always about the dog anyway. For all you tree huggers who think all bad about us, don't believe the hype. For some of us, we love our dogs more than we love our families. That goes to show you how much our families got to love us to even deal with us. And I say that to my wife all the time. Because she put up with our music career and she also put up with our dog career and everything else on top of dealing with the business. So believe me, it takes a hell of a person to do the things that we do when it comes down to these dogs in life. It's just a matter of which one you're trying to be. Let me give a big shout out to Little Rock Legends of Boxing in the house, coming in with a 2-piece. Another legendary man right there. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Man got more history than just a little bit. Very historical. Not just in boxing, but he knows a lot about these damn dogs. Seen a lot, done a lot. So I'm always going just to see him show up and say, "Preach, twin." You know I'm hitting them home runs when them people right there start saying doing that, because I respect that man right there. And if that man tell me to preach, that man evidently I'm saying something that got his attention. He's like, let him know, twin. I got him, Little Rock. I got him, fam. So that's just to show love to my people out there. Let me give another big shout out to Northern Association coming in with the 99, with the dollar piece. Remember, it's not a matter of how much you give. That don't matter to me. What matters to me is the fact that you took your time to stop and just get something out of This conversation that makes you want to just give something. How can you not appreciate that? Me, I appreciate not just that, the fact that y'all show up, the fact that for those that hit the like button, for the ones that give the thumbs up and the muscles and all the rollers. It might seem corny to some, but guess what? Let me tell y'all, gentlemen, that means a lot to us because it didn't cost you nothing. You didn't have to do it, but the fact that you did it, why wouldn't we love that? I believe my brother when he said it keeps him going. Because the only reason he ain't in here tonight because he's stuck somewhere that I know he don't want to be. I just pray that he gets better, to come back to do some more. But tonight, I'm addressing something I hold to my heart. And that is the love of the game and the love of everybody who out there who wants to represent themselves as an American Pit Bull Terrier game dog man. Because that's the life I came from. So I'm always going to show a little bit more love to that part. Not taking nothing away from nobody. Just tell you why I love what I love. And why Mo loves the way he loves. Are we crazy? Sometimes I think so. I think with all the time that my brother done had into it and still do what he's doing, I be really believing if he stopped doing it, he would die. I really believe that. If it don't be for this show, I think my brother would have been dead already. I believe that in my heart. If it don't be for y'all, and him not wanting to let y'all down, or even me not even wanting to let y'all down, I mean, what would be the purpose of us even doing this show? Like paying us to do this. It's not like we need the likes or, I mean, we don't need no fame. We don't need none of that shit. 63 years old? Come on, man. When I say y'all don't really know us personally, but just trust me, we've had a good life. But when it comes down to these bulldogs, the things that we spend our time to do what we do and the saying the things that we say, if we ain't, if we can't help but one person, we've done our job. I might not never know who that person is. But one thing, when my boy said pass a forward twin, I understood what they meant. Because I'm always telling people that I train in my job, that I tell them, there's going to be a day where you got to pass that shit forward. You take that knowledge that you got from me, that you living off of, and you grab you somebody else, and you do the same thing for that person. Find the time to do that, because you owe me that. And if they're true to themselves, they wouldn't have a problem doing it. I didn't come up with that. It actually came down through the person who trained me. My father trained me. But my father had trained so many men as a kid growing up. And then you've been around all these men, and they have their own businesses, and they always come to to the sons and see you over here working with your dad. Your dad trained me. I know he hard sometimes, but you gotta stick in there. I mean, I got the older guys telling me. That's where I grew up. So it was nothing for me to understand whether it was meant to pass something forward. Because each one of them guys had told me about my dad and how he trained them and what they're doing in their life. Each one of them passed it forward to somebody. And how I know that? Because I knew each one of them guys, and I knew their stores. I knew their businesses. I knew what they did. They had to have trained somebody to even have what they're having, because they're willing to. That's what passing it forward means, you guys. That's what this game was actually built off. If everybody in this game had just hid their papers and didn't sell dogs and just, I mean, this game wouldn't have been shit. But what in life was so good that we couldn't afford to let the secret get out. Because all the things that have been so good in life, the secret got out and everybody wanted some of it. You know, everybody wanted a piece of it. They didn't give a fuck how they get it, whether they had to steal it, whether they was willing to do some shiesty shit to get it. You know, that's life. That is a part of life. So this is not just something made up. It just happens over here in the dog game. Come on. Again, I can always tell you, last time I checked, I thought I was talking to grown folk. So some things I just don't feel like I have to be reminding you of. But then we have some grown people out here who act like kids, who don't know no better. You know what I mean? You're going to have them. But I don't throw everybody in that category. I think there's more good out there than it is bad. Today, I might just be in my feelings. Today, I might have needed y'all to just come in here and have this conversation simply because I have so much other shit just on my mind. But whatever you take from this conversation, understand what this conversation tonight was all about. Nothing wrong with being a regular old American Pit Bull Terrier dogman. Okay. But I got my big shout outs to my American Pit Bull Terrier game dogmen. It's just a matter of which one you want to be. But don't be, whatever you be, try to be the best of what you can be. Be true to it. Because the only way you're going to ever be successful is, first of all, you got to fix yourself. Find out who you're trying to be. Find out what you're trying to be. I'm giving you all the ingredients. Oh, I think, even speaking about my brother and all the shows he has done and everything he said, you know, that ain't meant for everybody to like and everybody talk all the shit you want. But like I said, as long as I've been sitting around here, I ain't never seen one person come back who talked that bullshit that had anything that could stand up to it, anything that he didn't have no problem going through his shit. But when he asked you for your shit, he didn't hear nothing. Nothing. And he never rolled on that, and neither did I. Because that was the point right there. We seen enough of that in this dog game, and if you had a dog, you would have been even looking more stupid because your ass would have been standing over there getting your ass whooped, or you would have been on the other side of the wall running your mouth, and then it'd still been the same thing. Shut the fuck up and go get a dog. Other than that, I don't want to hear shit else out of you tonight. And when I got like that, I meant that. Unlike, you know, give a fuck what people think, but when I get like that, I be meaning that. And I'm a grown-ass man. And live with that same attitude I'm still living at 63 years old. So, I live by my... I stand 10 toes down on any and everything that I say, and I believe everything that my brother sits in this chair and try to tell y'all, he's standing 10 toes down on it, and if he ain't got nobody back, and one goddamn thing for sure, he got me. And when I come with an army to think like me. Because anything other than that, ain't no reason why you around. I don't be fooling myself with no bullshit. So when I see all that shit on Facebook and I see all people doing all the talking and all the other dumb shit that you see, even in these chat rooms and all them wannabes and all that bullshit, all that shit, I've lived long enough to know what that shit look like. And I give 2 fucks about that bullshit. Because the only thing that's going to matter to me is when you decide to get real. The real shit that matters. Anything other than that, just another person running their damn mouth. So y'all help me out here. I'm finna go close this out so I can get up to this hospital right quick. Let me see if I don't want to make sure I miss nothing here. I want y'all to help me out here. I gotta do this. I gotta go down to this list right quick, y'all. Hold on. Let me make sure I want to give a big shout out to my man, my nephew out there, Scratchline News. I see you, fam. Let me see if it's somebody else I'm in. I'm just trying to make sure I get everybody because I want to make sure I get everybody. Big shout out to Black Knight. What up, fam? Big shout out to the Dog Father. I see you, fam. Azad Bucks. What up, fam? My brother Eli Monsters in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man Vito Rashad. I see you, fam. Big shout out to Zan Ryan in the house. What up, fam? He said, appreciate K. Facts over feelings. Game over. That's the man who got the message right there. That's the man who know what I'm talking about. Appreciate the love, fam. Big shout out to Styles Kennels in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man Cecil Jackson in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man Balls Deep in the house. He said everyone is there a place that has actually true match reports that someone could look at to see what the record was and how many champions and grand champions and ROMs and PRs they produced. Fact! Talk that shit ain't hard to find. Let your work speak for itself. If you can't do that, at least respect the ones who can and just sit back and chill. Because that part's okay. The hating ain't, the hating, you already know how, hating is what we call it, like the trollers. We call them trolls. And the first thing everybody want to do with the troll is kick them out the room. Me personally, that's why I created the Shark Tank. Because I didn't want to just kick them out the room. I wanted the sharks to eat. We in a bulldog room. I got a bunch of bulldogs. Ain't nobody on no chain. That means everybody's blue. Everybody can talk shit, do whatever they want to do. Handle their own. Thing about a troll over here, you get a lot of, that's a whole lot of blue. I do keep my little finger on that little button to keep it under control. But in order to have that blue, I always say respect each other. It's okay to agree to disagree. But then that's why I love the fact that you don't see many trolls over here. I don't get in the habit of kicking people out. Because that's what the Shark Tank, they need to eat too. I be hoping there be more chums, I need chum in the water. It's been a long time since I've been able to holler, there's chum in the water. The sharks ain't been eating lately. They don't call in no more. They sit back, they enjoy the show. I got you. I see y'all out there. I appreciate all the love. But the fact of the matter is, this room right here is strictly for American Pit Bull Terriers, the game dogs, and our history. And now we make it good and clear what our history consisted of. We fought dogs in this game. And I ain't talking about no one or two. I'm talking about a lot. So, all we're here to do is share our experience. Not asking nobody to like it, but the fact is, it is what it is. Enjoy while we're giving it because, never know when that day gonna come. At least we have this. That's where I'm at with that. Let me see. Big shout out to the Penny Stacker. I see you, fam. Big shout out to Sir Kennels in the house. I see you, fam. I hit you up already, Northern Association with the 99-cent piece. Appreciate the love, though. Zachariah, 1.4 in the house. What up, fam? Again, big shout out to my brother, Lil Rock, legend of boxing, showing that love. Appreciate the love, fam. Always. Big shout out to my man Burning Star. MB4 Fire, I see you, fam. Sherelle Thompson. That's my baby right there. That's my niece. Another bulldog female in the family. Again, showing the love. I see you, baby. Don't worry about dad. He all right. I get with you after the show. Big shout out to Milestone. I see you, fam. But y'all help me out here. For everybody who left up in here, look. Tonight, to me, was a special night because y'all remember it used to be a time where I would never sit in front of this camera. Because it just really wasn't my thing. You know, my thing is over there with the music thing. You know what I mean? So this really wasn't my thing. But here lately, I know time's kind of getting kind of short here, and I got to finish up this story right. You know what I mean? I'm putting myself in how to finish a story. You know, because y'all know Mo is my twin. It's not too much that we can't feel in each other. You know, I've been around this dude my whole entire life. When he says the things that he says, I know which way, you know, things that I have to do. And in the process of doing them things is why I do what I do. Because this show here, when the day comes that he can't do no more, I guarantee you I'm going to have one of the nicest shows, memorial shows to my brother that I could have possibly imagined, because I think about it all the time. No, I want it to be the best. And then, who knows? He don't even know how to operate none of this equipment, y'all. And guess what? If I go before he go, I don't even know if he'll be able to come in here and turn these damn computers on or log in. He gonna be totally lost. But I be trying to get him in. I'm trying to get him into that, you know, because he's so stuck that he gonna be leaving before me. But I just be thinking sometimes, maybe you need to sit down and let me show you how to log in and start all this shit up. So if it happened to me first, that you can at least go on and you can do what I'm going to do for you. Because you can take it from there. I just want to make sure you can get on. But we have these conversations because, you know, we know our situation. And this show is like anything and everything else we've done in life. We always wanted to try to be the best at doing it. And we don't have all the fancy things and going on all that. I can do all that fancy shit, y'all. The reason I don't do that shit, because this shit, it's not like this shit pay us money. Why would I mean, it's time consuming because we sitting here doing what we love. But after we get off the screen, I don't see this shit right here no more. You know, it has other purposes around me other than this channel. Alexa, answer the call. Alexa, answer the call. Hello? Hello?
Hey, Uncle Mike.
Hey, what up, baby?
We still in the star tank?
Huh?
We still in the tank?
Yeah, I'm still on. You got something to say? I'm finna get off right quick. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second while you're there. Hey, fellas, do me a favor. Show me some love. You know, especially my boy. First of all, you know, prayers up. Everybody, you know, have a prayer. He hope, you know, I want him to make it, and I know, you know, to me they say prayer helps. So when you get a chance, you know, include us in your prayers. You know, but for right now, I need y'all to help me out and show me some love. I need to give me them thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Muscles, muscles, muscles. Now, give me some damn roses. Roses.
Roses.
Me and Mo. We need damn roses.
Roses.
Show some love,
Great
y'all.
Great job, Uncle Mike.
Hey.
I'm so happy.
Hey, y'all.
You are great.
Y'all show some love. Show some love.
You are absolutely wonderful.
I didn't know. I seen your name, so that means you was sitting at home, sitting back watching the show, wasn't you? And you just had to come say something.
Well, I never comment. Well, I comment sometimes.
Yeah.
But I just want to tell you, great job. Your brother just told me great job too. And
Are you talking to him? Is he watching the show? I ain't got a chance to see. Can he? Is he up?
yeah, he's doing. Well, what his message was is that he wanted everybody still to get out and vote. No matter how you vote, what you feel, just don't do nothing. There's a special place in hell for people who don't do nothing. So whether it's the dogs, whether it's your family, whether it's your investments, regardless of what you got going on in your life, you got a safe place in the Shark Tank to be who you are. And just do something. Don't be not a nothing ass nigga coming around us.
You are your father's daughter, and believe me, y'all, this is his oldest daughter, and trust me, that is hell realm. Hold on, baby, let me close this bad boy down. I'll holler at you. Don't go nowhere. That's me and your conversation, all right? You know I love you. I appreciate the love, all right? But look, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Understand where I'm coming from, you know. Respect the game and at all times. Because if you respect the game, believe it or not, the game will respect you. Because they have no choice to be a part of something like this game consists of. Sometimes you just got to kick the door down and earn what belongs to you and stand 10 toes down on it. And see, I ain't got no problem with that. Actually, I'm a fan of that because my dog's always going to represent us. And I feel like, hell, if the dogs can do it, hell, we ain't got no problem doing it any damn way. So the dog, you know, they supposed to be like us. Ain't nobody current out over here. Ain't nobody over here scared of shit. Nobody. And keep this one thing, regardless of what you do in life and how you doing it. I mean, it's sometimes you can get knocked down and you just think it's hard to get up, man. Been there, done that. Even when it came down to me doing the show today, I had to be here. Just because he couldn't. Y'all seen me doing this here recently, lately. But one damn thing for sure, and I know for him, we always, and I mean it, from my bottom of my damn heart, with no fuckery or fakery about what I'm saying, we always scratch the damn it win. That's just who we are. That is who we are. Going hard, baby, all day. S2W. I don't know who my dog is. Wait a minute. Let me see here. I got to do me a dog of the night right quick. I got to do it. Cause I sent my man Scratch lining them in the house and everything. Let me see. I got a list of all these dogs here. No, here we go. I got one right here. I'm going to go with this one right here. Gentlemen, this is my dog of the night. Another going hard dog, just in case y'all don't know. I'll just let it go out there like that. That's him. Look at that one right there, y'all. Read them and weep. Revenge, fellas. Good dog. When I tell you a good dog, trust me when I tell you. Dog got winners on the ground. Now, so I always thought he was a special dog because we have him. We had him anyway. That was my kennel partner. You know what I'm saying? But we get some music started here. Hold on, Rail. As I get ready to close this out.
I'm still here.
Okay. Let me get this close out music going here. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We look, fellas, appreciate everybody for showing up. I need everybody to stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. Keep bulldogging. Be true to the game.
Great job, Uncle Vic.
Thank you, baby.
Great job.
Stay true to what you're doing. Stay true to yourself. You know, it's all right to put the hater blockers on. You know what I'm saying? The hater blockers, it don't keep all the sun out, but it at least gives you control of what you got to worry about looking at. You know what I'm saying? Stay up on your own. Until Tuesday, prayers up. I'm out of here. Deuces.
I'm so proud of you, Uncle Mike.
I'm proud of myself too.
Yeah, hitting on your shoulders for a long time. You knew that it was gonna be on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Y'all go creative stuff in the world. Y'all make great teams, and you've been the best team I've ever seen. You and my dad is like the best teams I ever had.
Bro, you're making me blush. Stop it.
You know I'm serious. You know I ain't lying to you. You know I'm not. You know whoever talking to you, you know I'm not lying to you.
Well,
My actions speak louder than my words.
well, you know what? That's because you know what? Really real. Ain't know what I told you? You too much like your damn daddy.
Well, that's how we go.
You got it honest.
Grandpa's name was Earn Money. EARNENIE.
Yeah. We had to get it from somewhere, right?
Period. Like, seriously, Uncle Mike. You are really that man. You always was a big brother.